Hello, Flosstube. Um, Today is the October 20th, and this is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, Flosstube number 23. Let me just, yeah, today's 20th. um, I've been trying to do updates on Saturdays, but the 18th, Saturday was my mother's birthday, and I was kind of I was kind of exhausted all day. I think I slept most of the day and did very little stitching, and then we had a rather eventful week this past week. Last Saturday, in my video, I said that I was going with my sisters with my older sister to my younger sister's house, and they were going to sew, and I was going to cross stitch while I was just hanging out there. And we basically spent all day there. We went to this place called Republic Ramen for lunch. My niece uh, has got her learner's permit. Doesn't have her. I don't think she has her license yet. I don't know. But anyway, she's learning how to drive, so she drove us there with my little sister sitting up front with her, you know, uh, giving her a little bit of advice. But anyway, we went to lunch and went to pick up my nephew up at work, and then we went back to my sister's house and they continued working on the dress. So I did. I had got a lot of stitching done last Saturday, and then we got home. My mother wasn't feeling very well. Um, she'd had some gastrointestinal issues, and then on Sunday, I went to church with my younger sister. We go to a different church than my parents and my older sister do, but my mom, still was feeling kind of, not feeling very well, so she uh, opted to they all opted to stay home, and you know and and then we got a note. We were partway through the service at church and got a text that they were taking my mom to the emergency room. So we left early, and my younger sister went out there to the ER to meet them, and they ended up at the hospital later on that day. And my mom was in the hospital basically all week. She got home Thursday. So we took turns, kind of staying with her at the hospital, and she had some tests. Unfortunately, it was nothing really serious, but so now she's got to follow up with all of her doctors at home. So anyway, it was a pretty eventful week, and now we're just trying to find things that she can eat easily, that aren't too hard on her system, and you know, and at the same time, my older sister's birthday kind of got overridden by all this excitement, and her birthday was on the 14th, and my mother's is on the 18th, and so we finally had uh, uh, we had a family dinner on Saturday that my mother was able to go to, and she seemed to do well, to eat well, and uh, all things considered, it was but she ate well, and on Saturday, so we went out on Saturday to celebrate her birthday. We had the whole my sister, her family, and her mother-in-law, and all of us, and then on Sunday, my mom didn't go to church again, but she rested at home, and I went to church with my older sister, and afterward we went out to lunch for my older sister's birthday. Finally, my mom was feeling up to eating better and stuff. So she's been eating well. So we're happy about that. Anyway, so that was, the big event this past week, and yeah. So anyway, I did get a lot of stitching done. Not so much this past weekend, but a lot during the week. Um, and I don't have any haul or anything like that. Um, like I said, that that we had quite enough excitement around here. I had posted on Friday Off the Grid and on Instagram various updates on what I was doing. So I was able to. I did this upper border all around the water along here, and there's the little fountain. Come thou fount of every blessing. So this is my idea of the fountain, the water coming off of it, and there's water here, and so then this border around the edges is water all the way down here to this thick band of water between the verses, and the water continues on down, and then there's going to be another wide border down here, and more of this water border along here for the third verse is going to go down here underneath this. So this is the Jesus I was worried about. It came out, like I said, a little cartoony, maybe, but pretty good. I gave him. When I originally charted it, I wasn't sure about but had not charted doing any hair or anything like that. But I figure it looks okay. He's supposed to be wearing. He's got sandals on, but you can't really tell. Anyway, but he's carrying a sheep on his shoulders, and there's the sheep I started with. But then I did work on the first verse, the second half of the first verse, and there's a mount, praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love, and then this is supposed to be teach me some melodious sonnet, and so far I've got the first beginning of it done, of the musical notes, and this is a music staff, and I'm going to put in the notes later. I'm finishing those up. But so here's the second half of the second verse. Last week I was up to here. I had not finished these words, but it's the second half is all finished now. The part that I'm working on, that I'm contemplating right now, are these angels, and there's a little bit of difference. If you were to look closely, you can't really tell on the video, but a little bit. But there's 4 stitches on either side here, underneath this back stitching, and over here, and on this one there's only 3 up on the shoulders up here, and the faces you can't really tell their faces. I don't know. So I'm thinking about, and they look like the little Chivas bottles or something. I don't know what. They don't look. I'm not real happy with them. So this one here I might take out and redo. And I'm not happy with their faces either. They look wonky and weird, and I don't know what. I'm not happy with them. So, and I don't really have a lot of room here to chart anything like because I thought, well, maybe if they were bigger, if it was a bigger angel, you'd be able to see more detail and see, or if it was different. But I don't have a lot of room here, to put anything. But I might do something. I have in mind something different, something completely different. So I'm going to mess around with a piece of graph paper and see how that looks. But yeah, so this is what I worked on primarily yesterday. Was doing this music staff, and I was gonna try to do these staff lines like long stitches, and it was just too impossible to count and to, especially with this tiny linen and the tiny stitches on the threads on the linen. And so I went ahead and just did them as individual back stitches. I have long stitches on these bar lines in between, and on the this treble clef sign and these stems, note stems, are done with single long stitches, so they look a little better, and rather than doing individual stitches. But so that's what I'm working on now. I should have this finished today. I should, and then like I said, I'm thinking about redoing these angels into something completely different. The line here is "Teach me some melodious sonnet sung by flaming tongues" is what I'm thinking about. Flaming tongues above. And I was trying to do, that's what I was trying to do the angels for, and I'm like I said, I'm not happy with that. So I might do something different with this idea of flaming tongues. I'm not a flame person, but I might be thinking about something like that. I don't know. I don't know what a flaming tongue would look like, but I'm thinking about flames. I don't know. But so I have the first verse. Should be pretty easy once I get going on that. It's just a matter of what's hard is finding the starting point. But since I have this border, that helps a lot. And between something to to sort of count from, something close by to count from, makes it easier. So yeah, and then I'll eventually get to work down here on the border in the third verse. But I'm still working on the top half. But fortunately, it'll be done soon. The only problem is there's not much margin here. It's very small. I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to fit lengthwise, and it's just going to be tight. There's a little bit of margin there. I kind of wish it was about maybe an inch, bigger, but it's very tight. And so the bottom is going to be a tight squeeze as well. I measured it with just a tape measure, and it should be the same size as like the second verse. So including the border which should be 10 stitches like the top one, because I'm slightly neurotic, and so everything is in 10s and 5s and whatever, because that's the way the graph paper is. That's the way cross-stitch charts are. So anyway, the third verse will go there, and it'll just fit. It'll be tight. There's more, I have lots of room on the sides where I don't need it. But yeah, it's coming along. Hopefully, I want to finish by the end of August, because come September, I'll be doing a couple of Christmas things. I don't want to do like last Christmas, where I kind of did something cross-stitchy for each person on my Christmas list. I want to do something slightly different, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as that's concerned. I want to do maybe a couple of Christmas things, Christmas type themed things, but I don't know that I want to do like some kind of cross stitch gift for each person kind of. I think I want to do some, just generic Christmas gifts for everybody on my list, but I do want to do some Christmas related cross stitching things for a couple of people. So that's going to start. I want to be able to start that soon, so that so I'll have time to finish in time for Christmas. I'm not really a Halloween stitching person, so I don't think I have any Halloween type charts. So I don't have to worry about that so much. But I do have a couple of more involved Christmas themed charts, Christmas or winter, whatever you call it. So I might work on those. Like I said, I don't have much to do. This is my design. I just have this first verse, and there's going to be a heart there, and then the third verse. It's a little bit more complicated. This is the third verse is the one I went back and added some things to, changed some things. I made it it's a little more complicated, because of course, why wouldn't I make it more complicated than it has to be? But I'm more pleased with the design elements that I'm using. And who knows, maybe I'll stick the angels down here instead of, where they were, and I'll do something different. I don't know. Anyway, there was something else I was going to mention, and I don't know what it was. Oh, next weekend, I would normally, like I said, try to do a video on Saturday, but next weekend, not only is my younger sister taking her daughter to college, to Boston, for next year. My niece is only going to be 17. I mean, it only is only 17. She'll be 18 in the spring, but she just turned 17. But she graduated from high school a year early, so she's going off to college already. It's kind of scary, but she's going to Boston, and fortunately, she's got some friends out there, and so she's not going to be, in the big city all by herself. She has a few friends that are going to school out there that either have already been in school year or are going out there also. Like one friend is going to Harvard, and so she'll know some people there in Boston. But she's very far away. I have a friend who took her daughter to college. One of my friends back in Arkansas, and she took her daughter to college there in the state. And of course, just every kid, is far away when you're, if they're going to school in another city, they're far away. But at least, she can come home every weekend if she wants to. Whereas that's, problematic for my niece. She's going to be, couple thousand miles away. More than 1,000 miles away. Yeah, because we're in Arizona and she's going to Boston. So that's pretty far. Anyway, but then my older sister and I are going on a retreat, Bible study retreat, and it falls on the same weekend. So, but we're only going to be a couple hours away. If if there were to be some kind of thing from my mom, whatever, we're close enough that we could leave early and come back. But we're only going to be gone like 2 nights, and we're going to be back Sunday afternoon, I think. So we won't be gone that long. Oh, and this T-shirt that I'm wearing is an old one that I found. I'd forgotten I had it, but it was in a drawer. But it says Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. Spring of '95. This is an old shirt. It has a Verdi on the back. You can't see it. But we did the Verdi Requiem. I think this is the Verdi Requiem in '95, and so some of us ordered T-shirts. We made T-shirts for that. Anyway, so I came across this old T-shirt and put it the other day, and so anyway, there was one. I guess that's it. That must be it. So you can. I want to say thanks again to any returning viewers and to any new viewers. Thanks for watching my video, and for those of you who are subscribers, sorry, I kicked this thing with my but thank you again for watching and liking and subscribing to my video, and you can find me on Facebook as part of the Friday Off the Grid group, primarily, and then on Instagram as Phantagray, PHANTAGRAE, is my handle on Instagram, and I will try to put those in the description box so you can have that written down. But I think that's it. So hopefully, I will take my stitching with me on this retreat. They were going to, for any downtime I have there. I don't know what the schedule will be like, necessarily, but I can stitch. Hopefully, get some stitching done while we're at this Bible study retreat, and then like I said, I'm wanting to get it done by the end of this month. Just depends on how things go, on what I decide to do about those funky angels. Anyway, so thanks a lot, and I will see you next time, whenever that might be. Thanks, bye.